channel. My name is Andrew. I'm your health insurance advisor here with Florin Health Advisors. Now, I know insurance can be very confusing, very tricky, and can cause a lot of people stress, and people just say, I don't want to deal with it, but I'm here to help make it as stress-free as possible. Today, we're going to be going over insurance networks. So a lot of people go, hey, Andrew, what's my network? What does that even mean? What does it mean for my insurance? What can I do? What can I not do? So I'm going to kind of walk you through step by step on what that is. Now, there's going to be 4 main networks you have for insurance. That's going to be a POS, EPO, HMO, and PPO. So when you're looking at Obamacare.com, or you have a broker, or wherever you're looking to get your insurance through, these are going to be the big things you're going to want to look for. So just to let you know, POS stands for point of service, which is going to be your most restrictive network. So you definitely want to try to stay away from that as much as possible. EPO stands for exclusive provider organization. HMO stands for health maintenance organization. And then PPO stands for preferred provider organization. Now I know, Andrew, well, just because you tell me what that means, what does it include? So the things that mean the most in your insurance determines what doctors and hospitals you can go to. So POS, for point of service, you have to have a designated preferred provider. So what that means is you have to already have a doctor that you go to for all your checkups, referrals, or anything along those lines. Now, what you're going to want to look for that is they're going to give you a list of doctors. Those doctors are going to be in their network. You can only go see those doctors. If you go outside of that, you have no benefits, no nothing. It's like you don't have insurance at all. So you need and have to have a PCP picked out and already done. Now, let's say you get sick and you need to go see a specialist. Well, then you're going to run into another host of problems. So when you have this, you first need to go to your PCP to get a referral to see a specialist. Now, once you do that, you then are going to have to stay again within their network. Now, that can be really tricky simply because of POS, not a lot of providers are going to accept that. You usually have a handful of smaller doctor's offices within your city, and that's about as far as you can go. Now, once you get your specialist, you can go on. But let's say the specialist you want to go to is out of network or is out of state, or if you have really complicated situations where you have to fly to another hospital, you're not going to get the coverage you're needing simply because of your network. So I definitely don't recommend a POS if you can at all possible. Now, EPO is a step slightly above a POS. Again, this means exclusive provider organization. So you're going to have to stay pretty much within your zip code, more or less. You're going to need also to have a designated PCP. So you're going to have that pre-picked out before you can go to the specialist or anything like that. You will also need, again, a referral to go to a specialist, which can be very hectic, especially if you have kids, because I know I have children. It can get really obnoxious trying to get them crowd up to go to a doctor, then to go to see another specialist and potentially go see another specialist after that. So you kind of want to avoid that. I don't recommend that at all. Now, if you're a travel nurse or a truck driver that goes across state lines or a sales executive or anything along those lines that require you to travel, POS, EPO, and an HMO are not going to work for you. You're going to need a PPO, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Now, an HMO stands for Health Maintenance Organization. So this is going to be your second best if you have to choose networks. So this stands for Health Maintenance Organization. So typically with an HMO, you can stay within your state. You do need to have a PCP checked out. So you, again, need to have a PCP already picked. That's your designated one. So anytime you go to a referral or need a specialist, you have to see this PCP for all these plans, no matter what. It doesn't matter if anything, for you to go see that specialist, you have to have your PCP referral given to you. Again, you can stay within your state. So as long as you stay within your state, it's not a bad plan. But again, if you ever go on vacation, travel at all, or do anything like that, you're gonna run into issues. Now, PPO stands for Preferred Provider Organization. Now, this is gonna be your best plan. This is what I always recommend to all my clients. If I have the ability to get a PPO for them, it's an automatic given. A PPO, you do not need a PCP picked out, so you don't need to have that. You also don't need a referral to see a specialist. So you're not going to have those issues if you go and something happens, or you want to go see a specialist for anything at all whatsoever. You don't need to go see your primary doctor first. Now, this plan also, you can go anywhere in the nation. So it's nationwide coverage. You have the ability to travel. Let's say you're like me and you're in Chicago, Illinois, and you want to go to Disney World, either in California or Florida. You have coverage no matter what. Now, the biggest difference between all these plans, besides being able to go anywhere in the country, is an HMO, an EPO, and a POS. You have no coverage at all whatsoever if you go outside the network of doctors and hospitals they give you. Now, the big thing is with a PPO, even if you don't accept your coverage, you still have benefits no matter what. So that is the biggest main difference, is that level of coverage that they're giving you. Now, everyone's going to go, Andrew, is it cheaper to go with a POS, EPO, HMO, or PPO? Is it really worth the extra dollar amount on that premium? Now, again, you want to make sure you pick the right one that fits your needs and budget and what works best for you and your family. Now, just because it's a PPO doesn't mean you have to pay more. So that's not always the case. So don't always worry about the dollar amount. Again, you're going to get what you pay for. So if you skimp out on your coverage and that premium is a little bit lower, then obviously you're going to get the same amount of level of coverage out of that premium. Now, where you can go to get these plans. So you have a lot of different ways of going about this. Now, I'll kind of stick to Obamacare, which is your open market. That's going to be the typical one you're going to be running into. Now, when it comes to this, on the open market, people can get really confused because they're like, well, I see bronze, silver, gold, platinum, or whatever. You always have your coverage will say Blue Cross, Blue Shield, metal level silver, HMO. So your biggest ones on the open market are either going to be an HMO or an EPO, are the ones you're going to see the most. Very select states have a PPO, and that's going to be based on your zip code. Now, I don't want to dive too much into all that since we're looking at the networks itself. Now, outside of the networks allowing you to go see what doctors and hospitals, the state's zip code or nationwide coverage, you're also going to get what they call is your pre-contracted rates. So that's pretty much your in-network benefit / discount. And as you can think, it's going to go like this: POS, EPO, HMO, and PPO. So typically, this is going to be your lowest, second lowest, and this is going to be second highest, and then this is going to give you the most. So pretty much what an in-network benefit or discount means when you have your networks, depending on which one you go with, is a pre-contracted rate that insurance company has with that individual doctor. So typically, when you have a PPO network, they're going to be your larger companies like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, United Healthcare, and Cigna are going to be your four biggest and largest carriers you have available, which typically will give you your PPO. So pretty much what happens is the insurance company goes to all these doctors and hospitals, kind of selling themselves to get that doctor to charge you a certain rate based on what they are giving or willing to pay. Now, when you have these other lower networks, typically they're smaller companies, and they're going to have less of a big stick. So think of it as almost like Walmart. Goes in, tells them what they're going to pay, and that's what they agree to. To where when they're not, and they're like smaller little mom and pop places, they don't have that leverage of being able to do that. Now, again, you have your 4 networks, which is what you have available. These are going to be POS, which is point of service, EPO, which is explanation of benefits, EPO, HMO, Health Maintenance Organization, and PPO, Preferred Provider Organization. Again, the least amount of coverage for network availability and doctors to the most need referrals to go see any kind of specialist, have to have a designated PCP, and this one you pretty much have free reign to kind of go where you want, when you want, anywhere in the nation. Now, again, if you have questions, click the link below. I'll be more than happy to set up a time to speak with you to kind of go through all this one-on-one for a free consultation. Again, hope this helps you guys out to designate and look for better networks for your coverage. And until next time, it's your insurance.